I got a really, really, really interesting comment on my YouTube. So I'm going to show you the comment and then we'll talk about it. So the comment said, I was looking at some propaganda posters from the denazification area of 1940s Germany after World War II. The poster said, you did this, and showed piles of uncovered mass graves, the skinniest, whitest Jewish bodies you ever saw. The scary thing was how whites killed whites. Even worse, 10 years later in the 1950s, there was a reactionary movement against denazification. Would you please make a short video about opinions on collective guilt and collective punishment? Before I say what I want to say, I want to address this part, because this is factually not true. During World War II, Jewish people were not considered white. And there's also a big difference between being Jewish as a religion or being Jewish as an ethnicity. They are two different things. So when we are talking about how white people killed white people, that's not what happened. It might look like that from today's point of view, because certainly most people from Israel or Jewish people, I stand to be corrected, I am not Jewish, so if I make any mistake, please correct me in the comments, are considered white. So then the second point I want to make is, and this is kind of ironic, when you are living in Germany, have been raised in Germany, have been brought up in Germany, you know that denazification never really happened. Now, on the outside, it was supposed to happen, and there was probably like a progress or a process that the German government would label denazification. Did that entirely work? The fuck no. If it did, then there would have been a time in Germany where we did not have any Nazis, which was not the case then, has never been the case since, and is not the case now. So the Nazification of Germany is, yet again, literally just propaganda. It's not real, has never been real. It's just like sugarcoating shit, if you wish. Now, and what I think what sparked this comment is there is another German in my comment section up and arms around the fact that, oh, she's German and she's not guilty of anything. And the fact is, that's exactly what makes us guilty. The denial of guilt, of collective guilt and of collective punishment is what in fact makes us guilty. Because not only are we in absolute utter denial of our past within Germany, we are also in denial of our past and our crimes globally. Now, you may come up with the whole, but Nicole, I never owned slaves. I never participated in no Holocaust. I was never in the German army. Neither was I, bitch. Okay, I was born 1990 and shit was already done by that time. So, do I still profit from the crimes that were committed against humanity by Germans? Yes. It's actually not that fucking hard, really. So now, why are we so much in defense about collective guilt? Simply because we do not want to be called Nazis. Deep down, we know that what Germans did in and outside Germany, which, by the way, just a side note, what happened outside of Germany, particularly on the African continent, is just like, never happened. We are not being taught about it in school. It is not being mentioned. There is no monument to remember it. There is no, there has never been any type of acknowledgement financially, economically, socially, nothing like that. Okay? So we are not even, that's not even a topic. It's not even being discussed. It's not even being acknowledged in general. And mind you, during the time when literally Jewish people were murdered in concentration camps, do you really think the people around did not fucking know? Do you really think that the people that lived in close proximity to those concentration camps did not hear screams, did not perceive the smell, did not know that there were hundreds and thousands of people shipped inside but nobody ever returned? Do you think these people did not know? Do you think that these people did not carry on their ignorance onto their offspring? And instead of acknowledging and actually planting the seed of awareness and never again in their fucking offspring, no, what they did was silence. Drop dead silence. Denial, silence, and therefore also enabling. Because if you may think, oh, now in 2025, literally half of Germany voted for the AfD, do you think that's new? Do you think that's a new development? No, because before the AfD, we had the NPD. During my times, there was nothing like the AFD. When I was growing up, we used to see parties of the NPD. So National Party, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know what they were called. Dead as racists, right? They had their posters out with migrants out, secure the borders, shit like that. Everything you're seeing now has been going on display for the whole world to see. So how does that make us guilty? Because that is a question that I've been asked many times, and it is really, really simple. Silence in situations of injustice is choosing the side of the oppressor. And Germans as a collective have been silent for the longest time, ever since I can remember. To an extent that socially, we have no awareness of racism, point one. They are literally, and you may not know this if you're not within Germany. If you haven't participated in German society in one way or the other, you may not know this. So this is not like a blame game or anything. It's just like an information. We literally have debates within Germany of whether or not racism in Germany exists. That is the level of denial and ignorance German society at large is at in 2025. Not long ago, we had a debate in our Bundestag, in our parliament, on whether or not the N-word can be said in said parliament or not. We are not even treating racism as a crime because, on the other hand, if we would, our system would crumble instantly. So we are not even acknowledging racism as a crime. We are not even acknowledging racism as a system that is woven into every layer of our society, whether it be the educational system, the financing system, systems around visas, systems in the medical field, society at large, social hierarchy. That's what I was looking for. We are not even acknowledging the existence of the lack of equality towards people that are not white. So how are we not guilty if we've wrapped ourselves in silence forever? It's really that simple. So you do not have to own a slave. You do not have to had to participate in the Holocaust. You do not have to have served in the army for you to be guilty. We've enabled this until this day. That is why we are yapping freedom of speech when people are like, oh, I don't think we should be doing migrants in Germany. Migrants built this country, in case you have forgotten that. If not for migrants after World War II that came particularly from Turkey and Italy, this country would have not been built the way it was. I know. The next thing you're going to say now is the Trümmerfrauen. Yes, I know the German wives or women. I know that they participated. I'm not debating that. But you cannot acknowledge one and neglect the other. Because why are y'all talking about how the German women and they built the country, but on the other hand, you're neglecting the Italians and the Turkish people and the Arab people that came here to build the country? Why are you acknowledging one but denying the other? Exactly what I'm saying. Collective guilt. Now, collective punishment. And this is very thin ice because that would mean at large that every white German should be punished for the acts of people that we did, which includes myself. And of course, I don't want to be punished for something I technically and factually had no hand in. But if you don't want to be punished, why not speaking up? Why are you silent? Because I, on the other hand, I never signed up somewhere and said, hey, bitch, where's my white privilege card? Run me. Quickly, clearly I didn't do that. And nobody, you get it, right? That was just a metaphor. But so if we are hypothetically speaking about a topic around collective punishment, do I believe that all white people should collectively be punished for the acts of their ancestors? No, because I'm not stupid, okay? Should you be punished for enabling? The fuck yes, you should. They are two different things. It's one thing for being punished for something you did not actively do, and it's one thing for being punished for the lack of empathy and the lack of humanity. If you witness a crime and you do not intervene in your own capabilities and that crime later gets convicted, you too can be convicted for not doing anything. So that's what I believe in. I think you should be punished if you are enabling racism. If you have never spoken up, if you have never distanced yourself, you should be punished. So, I mean,